Hello and welcome back to Realm News. I am your host, the Dark Lord. And this is a first ever on Realm News. This is our record. This is our first time ever, 3-part series with special guest Jack. And Jack, welcome back to the show. Welcome back
Woo!
to part 3. We have a lot to discuss, my friend. We've been on a roll.
Yes, we are. We've certainly. I feel like we're getting into it, and yeah, I'm just happy. We're cracking on. We're making some really good content.
We are. Last week we left off with we began your list of ideas that you have pinned on your Twitter account, and we left off, I believe, with mobs and the breeding ideas, and then we went into scoots and how we want to see expanded use on that, and then we
Yeah.
got into armor weapons and equipment, about how you would like to see new armor trims in mine shafts, villages, abandoned villages, ocean ruins, monster spawner rooms, all that good stuff. And then we left off on copper anvils. And then I mentioned we're
Yes.
going to move into, in this episode, we're going to begin with structural and block overhauls, your ideas of that.
Yes.
So,
I mean, yeah. I was just gonna say, um, most of the block overhauls, like we said last week, it just makes intrinsic sense. So I'm hoping that with um with these ideas. I hope Mojang genuinely considers them. Anyone from Mojang, if you're watching, hit Realm News up and have a look at these sheets. Have a look at these ideas. Listen, we can make great things.
yes, please. I hope you're listening to the show and sponsor the show, please. Um, I'm just joking. Um, no, but seriously, Mojang, these are great ideas that Jack has assembled, and these, I mean, I'm no developer, but they don't seem like they're too technically difficult from my viewpoint. But
No.
what can I say? I'm just a podcaster. Let's get into wood type consistency here, Jack. Tell me your idea
Yes.
on this.
So at the moment, we have got a couple blocks which I believe could be expanded upon to every single wood type. One, given, for example, when hanging signs were added, we knew that every single time we have a new wood set, we'll get a new hanging sign. So it's similar to that, but I'm looking for full parity across every single block type. So chiseled bookshelves, I believe, could be either an oak chisel bookshelf, the current one, or a jungle one. And then you could have spruce chisel bookshelf, pale oak chisel bookshelf, acacia, etc., etc. And that's how I think the following blocks should be treated. You've got chisel bookshelves, lecterns. That feels
Yes.
like an obvious one because the lectern is just oak. You could have spruce lecterns, birch lecterns, etc. Mosaics, which for those listening, I'm referring to bamboo mosaics, where you've got this really cool intertwined pattern. I feel like every single wood type should have that. I understand why they don't. I understand like it's meant to be bamboo's little identity, but anyway, ladders where you would have to obviously change the recipe, but yes, and chests. There before as of writing, when I wrote this list, copper chests hadn't been announced yet. So I'm glad we're getting more chests, but give every single wood type a chest and then alter the chests that are in current structures to use different wood type chests. It just makes sense, in my opinion.
And I have written down here a yes with a huge exclamation. Yes, please. I never thought about the others, but the chests, that's been something I've been wanting. Like, why, like the boats, right? We can make
Yeah.
different colored boats based off the wood, and the chests I've been wanting, but ladders, oh my gosh, and lecterns, bookshelves, and chiseled bookshelves. Yes, apply that to
One
all wood.
A big
I,
irk I
I like it.
have when I'm making an enchantment table setup is that it has to be oak. Why does it have to be
Mhm.
oak? Why can't we have multiple different types of bookshelves? That and then the designs. It doesn't have to just be replacing the wood. You can then have different types of books and colored books and whatever. There's so much to expand upon.
Oh, so much. And to me, the ladders. Please let me change the ladders because, gosh, those are kind of ugly in my opinion. If you, I use a lot of ladder, and I know that
Yeah.
you don't need to. You can build stairs, but it would be so nice if we were able to use darker colors. I think.
I think altogether ladders need some sort of overhaul. I feel like this isn't on the list, but imagine an enchantment which allows you to climb faster, like
Ooh,
sneak, sneak, swift sneak.
that would
Um,
be awesome.
and then you could also, similar to how this whole rail conversation, you can maybe have iron ladders where you can climb a little bit faster,
Yeah.
or and I think the recipe, all you need to do is just take out the middle stick and replace it for a slab of the wood type. That's all you have to do, and then
There you go.
adjust the output accordingly, and then you've got
That
your ladder recipe.
that, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you talked about the mosaics here because I wasn't sure about that until you mentioned it. That you say that you understand why they don't implement mosaics, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain why you think that?
Bamboo. I mean, I went to Malaysia a couple of years ago and I stayed in a jungle and everything was mosaiced as bamboo. So all of the
Mm,
platforms, even the boats had mosaic. So I understand why, because that is a real world implementation of bamboo. Um,
wow.
but and there's so much. I mean, you could get a bamboo expert on here and do a whole episode on bamboo and mosaics. But to keep things short and sweet, um, I would personally love to see like wood types which have like a different, like almost like a chisel, but it's wood, so you call it mosaic, right?
Mhm.
Um, you could do that. You could even make it exciting. Don't even give it a crafting recipe. Maybe if you right click a wooden planks block with a pickaxe, for example, you chisel it and then you get your mosaic block out of it. I don't know. I haven't given it too much thought because I understand why it's only bamboo and it's almost like the identity of bamboo. Subsequently, I'm not too mad if they keep bamboo mosaic as the only mosaic block. It was just I feel like all wood should have perfect parity.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I was just curious and wanted to ask you more about that. And no, that's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
neat that you're able to that you traveled into in real life to an area and saw that firsthand. That's pretty cool. The mosaic bamboo. I
yeah.
don't think I've ever seen that.
I love all the chisel blocks, and I think that moves us on perfectly to the next point, like the mosaic and the chisel blocks. I do not know why we've got chiseled resin, chiseled quartz, chiseled everything, but we don't have chiseled
Mhm.
andesite, diorite, and granite. We have chiseled tuff. We have chiseled tough brick. Give me my chiseled andesite, man.
No, that now that you mention it, I don't know why we don't have this either. It makes no sense because haven't sculptors been using granite for a long time?
Yeah, I remember doing so the Freemasons and the actual masonettes they use granite so much in stonemasonry, so
Mhm.
it just
Yeah,
makes sense.
it makes perfect sense, honestly.
Makes perfect sense.
It's yeah, I didn't think about that either until you mentioned that in your list. I was like, "Well, yeah, why
Mm.
can't we chisel other rocks?" I d it I mean, it should the same principle should apply, same physics to this material. It's just
I
different
think it'd be quite
variations on
cool.
most skill.
I think it'd be quite cool to, how you can strip logs with axes and you can wax copper with axes.
Mhm.
I feel like it'd be quite cool to maybe use pickaxes as a chisel almost, so you can maybe like chisel bricks without needing to craft them. So you can
Oh,
just place the
that'd be
bricks down and then you
interesting.
can get a chiseling machine or something like that. That's a little bit left field, but I love chisel blocks. I love the lore it adds where you've got the prism the guardians as the quartz
Yeah.
chisel block, and you've got the creaking as the resin chisel block. Give us more resin blocks. I love not resin. Give us more chisel blocks. I love chisel blocks.
Yes,
Lore.
and, like, the creeper and the sandstone is intriguing as well, and yeah, that's no, I'm fully on board with that. I
I
wanted to
mentioned
ask you
no, go
sorry,
on.
go ahead. No,
I
I'm
was
sorry,
gonna
go
I was
ahead.
sort of gonna segue onto it. I said I mentioned the scraping of wax, and
Yeah.
it's sort of brought us on nicely to waxable item frames.
Yes.
Um,
What is that?
I'll, so you know how you can wax signs and no one can edit the sign?
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah,
I
you
had
can
no
use
I did not know
honeycomb.
that.
You can use honeycomb on signs, and then you can't change the color, the text, or if it's glowed or not. So I think you
That's
should be able to do that
wild.
on item frames. I hate when I start up a world and you have a chest wall and you put item frames on the chest, accidentally clicking an item frame. It's one of my worst
Mhm.
pet peeves. So just being able to shift right click, similarly to how you can with signs. That was a 1.20 thing as well. I remember using that quite a lot. Um, honeycomb as well, giving it more use. I'm all for that, and it doesn't. You don't need to add an item that can specifically wax. You just give it to honeycomb. I think that just makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, that does make sense. I and you taught me something. I did not know that we could wax signs to keep them that way. That's amazing. That's
Yeah, no.
amazing.
So it when they were doing hanging signs, I think it just came through hanging sign development because you could then also it was the same update where you could edit the back of signs because before
And that was
1.20
the
you could never do that.
1.20, right?
Yeah, it's 1.20. Yeah,
I love the hanging signs. I just overlooked that whole aspect. That's see, you're not the first guest to come on the show. There's like so much to Minecraft that it blows my mind when there's something like that told to me that I just completely didn't know. It's like, what? What do you mean you can use wax? And it makes sense. I haven't done a bee episode. I haven't done a wax episode yet. So I guess I don't know all the mechanics behind wax. So thanks for the education there.
it's all right, man.
No, I love that idea. And I that is annoying when you actually hit your frame and it rotates. Your item just
Yeah,
turns a little bit. It's like, oh man. Um, no, that makes sense. I don't know why we can't do
thank
that.
you.
What about these mob
I think
heads?
so. I think you're saying that makes sense. Something that doesn't make sense is why we can only get piglin, creeper, zombie, skeleton with a skeleton heads.
Yeah.
I think I understand Mojang don't want to kill friendly creatures, so I don't think we'll see friendly mob heads in the game. But
Yeah.
I think every single hostile mob should have its own head. I
It
think,
makes sense.
and then just like I use vanilla tweaks more mob heads, so it gives every single mob head a mob head drop. But I just think that's an easy. It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Um,
that is. I mean, no,
so then
that's easy.
every single time they add a new hostile mob, we'll be like, yay, we can get a new mob head to play around with. So yeah, that's just my way of looking at it.
At least
And maybe with the creaking, you could have some sort of funny machine that uses light, what they call charge creepers, to block the
mhm,
creaking heart, and then you get the creaking head block. I think that'd be quite cool.
that would be cool. No, that would be cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
No, now you got me thinking. I'm thinking like a pig head, even though that's not a hostile mob, but that'd be cool to throw down
Mm.
like a on a dinner table. Um, I don't know. Yeah,
It just,
that's
I feel, it just feels like taking the unimplemented, easy things and implementing them. It feels right. Like I hate when I know of something that's been implemented prior and it doesn't get added to the next point, the green axolotl texture. There
yeah.
was texture files for a green axolotl in the game, and it's just not been added, and that frustrates me because it is right there. It's there. Maybe it doesn't have to be a rare axolotl; it can be a common axolotl. But
So
if the variant's available, why not have it?
I'm sorry to. So the green color has been made, but it's not in the game. Is that what's happening
Yeah.
here?
So if you look at the 1.17 trailer,
Uh huh.
you will notice a green axolotl in the trailer,
Uh huh.
and I believe at some point there was files in the game for a green axolotl.
But they haven't done that.
They haven't done
That's
that. It got removed.
okay. That is interesting. Honestly, I've never caught an axolotl. I didn't know that that this was that this color was missing. Um,
Yeah,
so why do you think they didn't implement that? Is
I
there a
don't know.
theory?
Um, I mean, why haven't they added the zombie horse and illusion? You know, I'm not in the head. I'm not in the head of Mojang. I just
Green's
it
a common
feels
color.
yeah. I just you got pink, you got yellow, you got your blue one, and then the blue can be synonymous with rare. It's almost like it's a gem, it's a diamond. But
Yeah.
the green one, I don't know. I haven't got a
That
clue.
that's intriguing. I'm going to have to do some investigation into that, I think. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to do a little Realm News deep dive. Um, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I did not know that was a thing. I'm sure there's other people out there listening that didn't realize that the green axolotl texture is not there. So, what about this fire effects? Could you explain more about this?
So in the Nether, if you light soul sand on fire, it goes blue, right?
Yeah.
If you walk over that fire, over your screen, you get the fire effect, but it's still orange fire. So my suggestion
Oh,
is
I never.
creating capability for on the screen having blue fire. And
How have I never
I
noticed that?
and I also think there would be quite a cool idea when copper burns, it goes green. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it'll be quite cool to implement the same technology with Soul Sand Blue Fire, just giving copper just as a little Easter egg. Because you're not using it environmentally, you can't have a biome full of copper blocks unless you're a madman. Um, you then subsequently get green fire, or like a light green fire, and then again when you walk over it, you have a green overlay.
That, no, I love that. And I feel like maybe I've had a Mandela effect happen because I didn't realize that it was just normal red and orange flames when I was on fire from soul sand. That's blows my mind. That I thought maybe it
It
was soul sand flames, but
it's
you're
just
right. It's just regular fire.
it is just regular fire, yeah. And you know, maybe the way they do it is they change. They might have to expand the texture files for fire, but that doesn't feel. I thought that could have been added in Chase the Scars, to be honest, because players are going to be in the Soul Sand Valley. But you know, who knows?
I I guess I guess you weren't on the show to say that, so that's why it wasn't thought
No.
of. I don't know what to say, Jack, because I didn't even realize that till now. So that's yes, please, Mojang, make that normal. Change that. That bugs me now that you mentioned it. And I
Yeah,
do like
you
the
don't
copper.
realize it until it's pointed out, but now you know. It's
Yeah,
just
now
it's so
that's
annoying.
I'm going to see that every time now. I was just my brother and I literally were in the Nether killing or killing gas just a few days ago,
I was about to say, don't
and
be
I'm
killing happy ghosts, Greg.
no, we weren't.
That's not one.
Yeah, we were killing happy gas, and all the cute mobs in the game. You know, we were. No, we don't do that. But no, I'm surprised I didn't notice it then. That's crazy. I wonder how many. I'm gonna have to make that maybe my poll today. Be like, has anybody noticed that Soul Sand Fire does not match
It's
the
crazy, isn't it?
flames when you're on fire? That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, what about the leaf particle updates here? These
I
make
love
sense.
what they did in Spring to Life.
Same.
But something, and this is a really niche arc. So I'm not as mad about this that I am about the Soul Sand Fire. Anyway, um, so in all of the leaf particles share the same shape. It's just different colors. So my idea is just to give them all slightly different textures. So spruce leaves would be more piney, and jungle leaves would be larger and flatter. For example, your pale oak leaves would be maybe crinkled. I don't know how it would look, but just giving them different textures would. I think it would just help the immersion. So when you're in like a spruce biome, you know that it's like they're like spiky pine leaves rather than your flat leaf, which they all share, and that's fine. I think it looks fine as is. I think it looks good even as is.
Mhm.
I also mentioned dark oak. Dark oak leaves and leaf blocks, oak leaf blocks, share the same texture. They share
Mm.
the exact same texture. Give dark oak leaves a darker texture, and and it will make Minecraft great again.
Separate them, huh? Has that been bugging you?
Yeah, they're the exact same texture. Dark oak and oak share the exact same texture of leaf.
I didn't realize that either. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. But I also
It bugs
don't
me.
my builds, I don't get so elaborate like you do. Like mine are my cities are so I don't even know what draconian looking and very I don't even know what it looks like, man. Like you have to come to my world one day maybe and just take a look, but they're basic.
Yeah. Um, do you know what? I'll tell you what, just because I'm in a ranty mood, something else that I guess irks me is the minecart speed. And it sort of segues us onto the next idea.
It does.
I um I have some ideas around minecarts and transportation that I think I should just get off my chest.
Please
Um,
do.
Prefacing, there is an experimental toggle that fixes a lot of this stuff, by the way, with the experimental minecart toggle in Java. Just saying that the technology is there.
From last year,
I
right?
think,
Weren't was that when they introduced
yeah,
those ideas to us?
yeah. I mean, it's actually next start of next month. It would be 1 year. Um,
Dang.
so I think that we should replace Power Rail, the recipe, and the texture to be copper. So all, and then you can have waxed and unwaxed variants, obviously. So your current Power Railed are copper. That gives off, if a copper rail, a fully unoxidized copper rail, orange, that gives off the current speed of current powered rails. And as it oxidizes, it gets slower. And I
Mhm.
think you should have a new rail type made with gold. So you still get the rail type with gold, and that is double the speed of current powered rails. Same technology as well with the powering. So you know, one redstone line for every certain amount of rails. Detector rails and activator rails have their place. I think they're perfect. I don't think they need tweaking at all.
Okay.
Um, I would also implement something along the lines of, if you want to do gold rails, why not take it a step further? Diamond rails. Make those go
Mhm.
4 times as quick, because the people who have the ability to build that long of a rail, that infrastructure, we're talking 1,000 block rails, 2,000 block rails. They're the people who are
Mhm.
going to have spare diamonds, unless you're a madman. You then
I'm a madman.
subsequently, no, but no, you're not a madman. But being able to increase minecart speed feels like, again, low hanging fruit. I know we got written down here jukebox minecarts and spawner minecarts. So I
What
did really
before you move
quickly
on
want
to
to.
that,
Yeah, go on.
before we move, I want to ask you something about the would this also, let's say, copper, gold, diamond, these power rails, right? Or are these just
Yeah,
normal rails?
I think you'd have to keep. I think the copper rails should be the new powered rails, so it keeps that same speed, because
And then you
they are.
upgrade it from there.
Yeah, so those copper rails you have to keep waxed, or they're going to become even worse. So then, what that does for people who are looking to create roller coasters, you can have slower areas, you can have faster areas, and you can create roller coasters a lot more better. Um,
Yeah.
so it means you have to wax your rails, but that's okay because you'll still get a boost even from the oxidized, powered rails.
Mhm.
Um, and then the gold rail, I think, could be double that of the copper rail, and then the diamond could be double the speed of the gold. I think that would
Would
fit
the
perfectly.
My next question is would these upgrades from copper to gold to diamond, would that not just double the speed, but would this also increase the distance until you had before you stopped?
Yeah, you can make it algorithmic. You can have it as a ratio. So the powered
Mhm.
rail could be X amount of blocks traveled across X amount of distance, and then you can just scale that up. It could be
Gotcha.
formulaic.
Makes sense. No, no, it makes perfect sense. I just wanted to ask that because, yeah, just for further clarification. And I do
Yeah.
want to know about this jukebox minecart and spawner minecart. That
So
is something I don't even have ever heard about. What do you
the
mean by that?
spawner minecart is currently in Java Edition. You can acquire it through commands. It's in the game,
Okay,
and it works how you think it works. I think it'd be quite cool to have a structure, maybe a trial chamber S structure or something, maybe an abandoned railway which can use the minecart spawner, and you have to chase it and break it, or catch it and break it. You don't
Mm,
get the spawner back, and you don't get the minecart back because that would be too overpowered. You could just create a really overpowered farm.
mhm,
That would be cool. And maybe you have a rail type that you can't break for that structure, because then you can just cheese and abuse that mechanic. So that's already in the game. I just think they should find a way to implement it. The jukebox
mhm,
minecart would be cool. Imagine you've got a parkour track and you want there to be a song that follows the player. That's just what you would do. You would make a jukebox
mm.
minecart, and that
Awesome.
music could follow the player as they do it. It could even be done with activator rails. It can even be done with redstone triggering. Um, I don't know. I just feel like there's redstone possibility for that. I feel like the spawner minecart is a much better idea than the jukebox minecart. It fits a lot more case use niches, but
Mhm.
the jukebox minecart still has its place, I think.
I think the jukebox minecart is a fun idea. It's almost like you could have your own theme song or a radio on in your car as
Yeah,
you're going around your overworld. I think it's no, I really enjoy that. And I because I really like, making note blocks in some of my cities. I haven't done it in every
yeah.
one of them, but and I haven't they're just random. I have no tunes or anything hooked up. It's just, like, if you go to my capital city, it's just a bunch of random note blocks hooked up to pressure plates for the citizens to walk over, so it just sounds like this mad cacophony of,
Mm.
like, a child hitting a piano. Like, it says bleep blop bleep bleep from all the villagers just meandering. It's but no, I I think it would be really cool to have a jukebox because a jukebox minecart because I'm a big fan of the jukeboxes and I love music in general. So yes, sign me up for that.
Yeah, I think as well. This isn't in the list, but when the Spring to Light, the Chase the Skies drop was cycling, people were maybe predicting we might get chainable minecarts, and I still think that's a possibility.
Gosh,
And
I
if they
wanted
do,
that.
imagine having
Yes,
like you said earlier, you could have it as a radio. Travel to your next destination, and maybe you could implement hopper functionality so that if you pick a certain line, you can get a dark, spooky sound. But if you pick like a
yeah,
Rainbow Road S line, you get tears or pig step, and you get something quite upbeat. So
that'd be
there,
cool.
there's ways to implement it that make intrinsic sense, and there's ways to implement it that would give me a reason to want to build it.
Oh my gosh, you're giving me a lot of ideas. Now that you said that, no, oh, and I wanted to say something, but it just slipped my mind. Maybe I'll get back to it. Maybe it'll come back to me. But
Yeah, maybe.
let's let's move on to the your next section here of ideas, new mobs and variants. um, I have here one of your ideas is add the illusioner as a
Yeah.
mini boss and zombie horses spawning in abandoned villages. Friendly. Please tell me more. I love this.
Um,
What about the illusioner?
the Illusioner was introduced in the World of Color update, but it is behind uh, commands in Java Edition. The mob works. It's a good mob. I
Mm,
don't know how you'd implement it, but implement it. It's right there. That's literally it. It works. It's a good mob. It's balanced. It looks nice. Maybe it was made before the texture update, so maybe you could argue maybe redesign. You could maybe redesign it a little bit to fit the new design ethics or the design language of current Minecraft.
for one
These
second, Jack. For those people out there, what does illusioner do, or what was it supposed to do?
So it has a bow, and it can. So when you go to it, it will cause blindness, and it will split off, and you have to there'll be four illusioners around the one illusioner. It all copies the movement, and you
Oh
have to
wow.
find the correct illusioner. It's invisible, but you can look for the particles and you can hit it. Doing
Wow.
this, it's tricky. It's not
That's
easy. It's not an
cool.
easy boss, but the pillagers and the illagers have got easy mobs. I think the pillagers are quite easy.
Mhm.
Um, so you don't need to have an easy illusioner, but it's just right there. I just don't know.
And so this is fully fleshed out already, like
Yeah, I
the
mean, you
developers?
could revisit the mechanics, like how we
Mhm.
spoke about last week. The saddles being revisited. You could obviously revisit it and tweak it, It's just there. It's like the conversation of mob vote losers. We know they're there,
Yeah.
and because we know they're there, we get frustrated. Maybe I'm
That's
one of those
true.
spoiled Minecraft players, you know, but I know that there's mob vote loser concepts, and I want those because I know about it.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the film Uncut Gems, have you seen it before?
Oh, yes. Uncut Gems with,
And at the
oh my
start, he says,
gosh.
"Why would you show me something if I can't have it?"
Yes,
So
yes, and gosh dang it, who is it that plays in that? Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, great movie. That was a good movie, but go ahead.
very good. Um, and the zombie horse, similar story. When the zombie horse and skeleton horse were added in 1.6, they were both in the same boat. They had spawn eggs, but I don't even know if they had spawn eggs, but they were able to be spawned in creative. 1.13 came around and they gave the ability for the skeleton horsemen to spawn, and that's brilliant. That was a great way to implement the skeleton horse, and that has its place.
It was so
But
cool.
the zombie horse still, it's 1.6. When was 1.6 released? I have no
Gosh,
clue. I'm gonna quickly look it up.
2014? 2014? No, it wasn't that far back,
Uh,
was it? 2015?
I don't know. But what you could do is you could just have them. You have villages that spawn horses, right? Just make the abandoned villages spawn zombie horses. That's as simple as that. There's no benefit. You don't need a certain benefit to them. Maybe they can breathe underwater like the skeleton horses can, but why not? Oh, it's 2013. The horse update was
Ye
released, so it's coming on to 12 years because it was September. It's coming on to 12 years of this poor boy
gosh,
being in the game.
gosh. Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
No, I would love
I'm
to
gonna.
see zombie horses.
This is an idea from Cub Fan. So Cub Fan has a video series called The List, and if you have a chance, I seriously recommend you watch it all the way through. You can do it in maybe one or two sittings, and he just
Okay.
goes through some ideas. A lot of my ideas are either tweaks or direct. So this zombie horse idea is completely his, but I want this in the game, so I'm putting it here.
No, I like this. I love the zombie horse idea. It makes perfect sense to me. And
Yeah.
the illusioner? That sounds awesome. I wasn't fully aware of what the illusioner was exactly. I've heard of it. I just never really researched it, but it having like those
Mm.
doppelgangers, that's pretty neat.
It's very neat.
Or what?
It's a unique mob.
Yeah, I think they should put that in. And you know what? While we're talking about mobs, I remember researching or I stumbled upon that at one point, Notch wanted to have trolls put in the game. Like
Did he? I didn't know
it
that.
was it was an idea. It never obviously made it, but he somehow wanted to have trolls put in, and I think that's a big part of lore in Sweden, isn't it? Trolls and whatnot. I don't know.
I'm not too sure myself, but I mean, it's right there. Mojang, do a drop. Call it, I don't know, chili
but he
pillagers
also,
or something,
but
and
he also
then
wanted. Wait, what
add
did you want to call
isologers. Sorry,
it? What was it? What were you going to name the drop?
chili chili pillagers or something. I don't know.
I like
Name it.
that.
They're better at me at naming things, but add the illusioner and add the isologer. But please, if you're gonna add the isologer, change the name to chillager. It just makes so much. It sounds better.
There you go.
Ugh.
There you go. Let's take a vote on that. Now, Jack, let's move into you have something here as an idea of muddy pigs and guardian variants. Please tell me
Yeah.
about this.
So when I wrote this, the pig variants had just dropped, and I always remember thinking about Minecraft Earth, which was an old mobile game from Mojang, and they had the muddy pig, and I thought instead of changing it so that you have muddy pig spawn, maybe have it so that if a pig walks on mud, it can slowly develop the texture on top like an extra texture layer. That's
Yeah.
simply it. It's almost like a callback, like how we have the lava chicken, the best piece of music known to man, the lava chicken music
Yes,
disc,
the greatest piece of work ever.
the greatest piece of work. It
Ever.
challenges Mozart for
It
its
does.
sheer
It's amazing.
how you've got that. you could maybe make a callback to Minecraft Earth and just have pigs, all three variants. If they step on mud, they can have the muddy pig facade. It had a tulip in its head as well, and I remember in one of the Minecraft lives they used it for the branding, so it makes sense. And the Guardian variants, I think we're following. It also sort of includes the other point. So you got warm fox variants as well. So at the moment, Guardians, and actually, I'll sort of go off on variants here. We've got squids, who you could have a warm variant for warm oceans, a temperate variant for temperate oceans, and a cold variant for cold oceans. So then you've got your individual squid types. You could have purple squids. You could have green squid. There's the most common is like a white orange squid. With the
Mm-hmm.
Guardians, I think you should have like you could maybe have purple Guardians. You can call back to the potato update of 2024
Yeah.
based on the ocean they're in. I think this one's a little bit tricky because Guardians sort of look like the block they match. So I didn't really consider that when I wrote that down. Now I'm thinking of it. But the foxes as well. You've got cold, snowy foxes, and you've got your regular foxes. Why not have a warm fox, like a hyena esque thing that can spawn in the savannah or the savannah plateau? That's sort of where I'm at with variants. I feel like most mobs should have variants. It helps with the game. Some mobs don't. I feel like the bogged and the stray, they sort of are variants of the skeleton in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also got things like Iron Golems. You don't need Iron Golem variants. They're so iconic. You don't need Ender Dragon variants. You don't need Enderman variants because the end is almost like its own biome, its own world.
Yeah.
But things like dolphins, I remember the dolphin vote, the Chinese mob vote. There was a pink dolphin in there. Why not bring that into the game as a variant rather than its own mob?
That makes sense. Actually, that would be really neat to see. Actually, what about
I just
piglins?
piglins. I don't think so. You've got zombified piglins, so you could argue they're a variant in of themselves. But the law is piglins can't come to the overworld because they get sick, and I think piglin brutes as well are in of which themselves their own variant. They fit the atmosphere and the environment they're in. If there was a cold biome in the Nether, sure, maybe give some cold variants. I know there's a theory that the Nether used to be cold, but
Really?
I don't think. Yeah, game theory states that to make
Oh,
basalt
the
in the
basalt.
Nether, you need
Yeah,
blue ice
I've
or
heard.
ice and lava on soul sand.
I that's interesting theory. I think I said something along. Anyways, I think I said something along the lines about the moon having basalt. Um,
Oh
in
yeah,
my moon episode. Yeah. At least in the real world, I went into I think that was episode 3 or 4 of Realm News. It was early on, but I wasn't like disproving game theory, but I was just talking about how in the real segment of that show about how the moon collided in with Earth and how we were able to tell that is because it has the exact same basalt chemical makeup on the moon
yeah,
as we do on Earth and other minerals also. And um, I I can't remember how I correlated that in with the Nether. It's been like over a year and a half since I made the episode. I'm gonna have to listen to it again.
yeah.
But I think I suggested that there's other ways basalt could be introduced to places. Um,
I
but
feel
it
like
was just a suggestion.
yeah. Um, I know we. I sort of need to mention as well with basalt. I love using basalt as decoration, and I know for a fact something I want in my decoration arsenal is the ability to add dry grass and firefly bushes to flower pots. I just
Yeah.
it feels so easy. I feel like Spring to Life should have. I know you got the eye blossoms from the Garden Awakens, but there's so much foliage in Spring to Life, and I'm just so surprised that none have interacted with plant pots.
And I wonder why you don't ever see like what's the word I'm looking for? The bulkier or taller plant varieties able to be put in pots, and I don't like that. Like, am
I
I making
think
that up?
no, you're not.
We
Cub fan suggested in that list series, he suggested that you should be able to put those big flowers, pitcher plods, rose bushes, sunflowers, and whatnot
Yeah, that's
into
right.
the large pots. Put the put them in the large pots, not the flower pots, as a way to
Yes,
display them.
I support this. I think I don't know why we can't. I mean, it's gosh, it's one of those things that just seems very it's so we do this in real life. It's so common. I don't know why why it wasn't just a thing in Minecraft. Like, why can't we make concrete stairs? Like that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Makes no sense. Like none whatsoever.
I
Um,
mean, sense like we're talking, sense if you create things that make sense, Minecraft flourishes. And if you create and the things that don't make sense are fantastic,
mhm.
whimsical things like piglins, the
Yeah, I love
creaking.
that stuff.
That's where Minecraft flourishes. Make things that if it needs to make sense, it makes sense, and it
Yeah.
prospers, and that's what I'm loving at the moment.
True. No, and but I'm fully on board with let's add dry grass or the ability to put dry grass into pots and the firefly
Yes.
bushes because man, people in the real world do this as decor around their houses all the time. Like they put these type of dry grasses in, like down in Arizona and
Mhm.
the southern areas in the United States, that is pretty common.
Yeah. I mean, it's so common, and I mean, think about the Middle East. I remember when
Yeah.
1.20 was announced. Olraf, the Minecraft developer, came on and spoke about how he wanted something that aligned with things that he does. That's why camels were a big part of his development story.
Oh.
And I think things like that, people like from Arizona, like from, I guess, places like Albuquerque
Mhm.
and I want to say Mexico City, who do things like pot grass in such a way. And I guess Middle Eastern countries, I'm thinking of like Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates. I imagine, I've never been there myself, but I imagine they're dry countries as well. This would be a practice that they would do.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're totally right.
I think so. I mean, the firefly bushes. I mean, any plant. I mean, we can't even put little trees in pots, right? Like
You can put
saplings.
saplings. You can put saplings in flower pots.
Wait, yeah, you're right. I forget that we can. For some reason, my brain just boop. But
It's all right, man. We've been here for like 3 hours. It's all right, man.
we have. Yeah, I'm starting to make things up now. But no, this just seems like it's really hit and miss on what we can put into
Yeah,
pots.
I
It's just
feel
kind of
like
weird.
give me a pot drop.
I guess we should probably do a whole episode over systems that should be like that need the most attention, honestly. Like
Yeah,
fishing.
yeah.
Fishing hasn't been touched on in
Fishing.
forever. Plants. I mean, I think I would like to see the food system be changed. Like, I
Yeah,
would
I,
like to
I,
see
I
more
agree.
recipes. Honestly, I think it's so boring, like our
I'd
food.
love to see advancements overhauled. I know this is the last point we've got on the list, and I'll make this brief. There's so much content in Minecraft that doesn't have advancements or support for advancements. There's so many areas that players will never explore because there's no achievement or advancement. Um, in Java Edition, there's nothing about the ocean monuments, and I think there should be. There's nothing for the conduit, woodland mansions, shulker boxes, elytra rockets. If we want players to do things in the nether and the end, I think there should be advancements to help with such, to help bridge this content. Something else I
I
should mention. Oh no, after you, after you.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're on a roll there. I just wanted to ask, do you play for advancements personally?
I if the advancement is plausible, I do it. I've never got How Did We Get Here or the Furious Cocktail advancement. I like the fact that they added the advancement for the creaking in 1.21.6. And I like the fact that, well, actually, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that Spring to Life has zero achievements or advancements at all.
Oh,
Maybe
wow, they don't, do they?
they don't. Maybe there should be an advancement for breeding every single variant, or breeding a cold pig with a warm pig, or a cold
Yeah.
chicken with a warm chicken. Like it feels like low hanging fruit. I like things like the thorns enchantment. Imagine an achievement where you can kill a zombie by getting it to die on your thorns. There's so many aspects of the game
Mm.
that could use an achievement or an advancement, and I know that takes a lot of tech,
Gosh,
but why not?
those are some great points, though, and I mean, you just added advancements right there by from what you said. So yeah, what would
Yeah,
I don't know. I do feel like Mojang's been a little bit lazy in some aspects this year in 2025. Just uh,
I
I'm
think
not
they've
going to get
definitely missed
back
the
into
mark.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, just on that, for example, I didn't realize till you pointed that out because honestly, I don't play for advancements. I forget they even exist, but I know a lot of people are driven by them and they
yeah,
like to achieve them. So what you're saying should just be a thing. And I would think that would be just protocol by Mojang when they make a drop to make a new achievement. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think. I mean, there's no achievement or advancement. I don't know about the Bedrock achievements, but there's no advancement for maybe getting a bundle to full capacity, or
Mhm.
you know, you got heart transplanter, which is moving a creaking heart, which is fair enough. But
That is
there,
cool.
yeah, and you've got the 1.21.6 where you hydrate a dried gas. That's fine, but I think the happy ghast gets healed when it's at cloud level. So I think there should be an advancement to that, because there's nowhere in the game that states that happy ghasts can heal at cloud level. So why not
I
make an
forget
advancement
all
for it?
about that. I forget about
It's
that.
just if there's no obvious way to do it, I feel like an advancement could help. Um, there's no advancement for having a maxed out pickaxe, or there's no advancement for um, I'm trying to think. There's not really an advancement for killing a piglin brute. There's no advancement for like in Bedrock Edition, you've got the advancement where you can fly through a one block hole with an elytra. I think that should be added to Java. I think there's so many achievements in Bedrock Edition that Java could have. And I know us Java players, and we've only got 5 minutes, so I'll keep this brief. I know us Java players got offhand capability, but give me my advancements, please.
Actually, Mojang, um you need to go to Jack's Twitter and go to the top there where he nicely put a whole thread and just copy that, put it on, I don't know, Jens Bergenson's desk and distribute that around the office and things.
Mo Young,
Yeah,
I'll take a flight to Stockholm. I'll do it tonight.
there you go. There you go. I'm sure you'd be willing to do that at a reasonable price too, huh?
I'll pay. I'll pay them. I don't care. My
Okay,
local airport flies to Finland. I'm pretty sure. So I'll
there
be
you
off.
go. Yeah, you can make it to Sweden for
Yeah,
easily,
very
actually.
easily.
Well, what else do you? We got a couple minutes left, and that pretty much wraps up what your fantastic list here of ideas that
Yeah.
that could be easily implemented into the game. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this up?
I'm gonna very quickly. Spring to Life added fallen trees to Minecraft Java edition. That's really cool. But Bedrock still has dying trees, and I really want snow logging and lava logging. Please bring that to the game. I think it just makes sense. If you can waterlog, why can't we lava log? And I want white leaves. It's been trending on Twitter at the moment in the Minecraft community. White leaves in cold biomes. I want my white leaves, please.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, I just I'm just so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and speak as well. I just have to say that I know we've talked a lot about a lot of stuff today, and I'm just happy that I'm able to get my ideas out to the people. So yeah, Mo Yang, I'm available for hire. I will relocate today, and yeah, make sure to follow me on Twitter, JLN200002.
There you have it, folks. Please go follow Jack on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and have his Twitter, now X, link in the show description for you all to just easily go click on. And you can go check out all his amazing builds, his ideas. and everything else that he posts there. You won't want to miss it. And Jack, I just want to thank you. Thank you, my friend, for coming on to the show and just providing all of your amazing insights. It's been invaluable, and I appreciate your time so much. And you're welcome back. You're now part of the Realm News official family as a guest, and you're welcome back anytime. I've really appreciated
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Dark Lord.
it. And I just want to say to my audience out there, I will see you all next week with a brand new Realm News Flash and a brand new Realm News on Thursday. Happy crafting. I will see you all there. The Dark Lord signing out. Hey, Realm News fans, it's your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am here to tell you that your support means everything. Spread the word by telling friends, liking, and commenting on Spotify or Good Pods. Find me on X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or via email at bio.link/realm news. For more content, join my Patreon at the Copper, Diamond, and VIP tiers for early episodes, bonus content, and newsletters. Find out more at bio.link/realm news. No pressure, though. Just keep listening, liking, and sharing. That's more than enough. Happy crafting, and see you at the next Realm News.